Here's a look at what I'm doing. I'm installing a new MSD ignition system on the Corvette 65 Vette, and pretty much got the distributor in. And of course, what I did is I converted this. It had the original distributor in it that I converted to an electronic little thing that we put in the old distributor, which crapped out pretty readily. And of course, here's the old distributor, old Corvette distributor. Look at that thing, man. It's got the mechanical tach drive on it. But I put a little electronic conversion thing in it, and it crapped out. Reading the reviews online, everybody says that, yeah, I left them stranded, and that's what this one did. So he just stepped up, says, let's put an MSD in it. But look at that. That's that is not an aluminum distributor. That's a iron distributor. It's a ball bearing distributor, not a bushing shaft. Original Corvette 65 Corvette distributor. And it obviously has to stay with this car even if we're not using it. But what do you suppose that thing might be worth, huh? That's a pretty rare bird right there. But as you can see, this was the old distributor cap type connections where you had the female connections in the cap, and as you can see, I had to take and change all the plug wires over, convert them to the HEI style connectors. And of course, if you look, these old Corvettes, the wiring, the spark plug wiring on them is a bit of a fiasco. They go down behind the block and underneath the exhaust manifold, and they're all routed and loomed in there, and then they got shields over them and stuff. And remember, the chrome shields that they used to put on these things were for radio suppression, because they had to use solid core wires to try to make the ignition system a little more effective, because the points condenser ignitions on these older cars was very much a weak spot on these until we started getting into the realm of electronic ignitions and HEI systems, high energy ignitions. But at any rate, so that's what I'm doing. I got put the distributor in, still loose. I've got to plumb up the wiring for the MSD, and I've got the MSD pulled out the glove box, and we have mounted it. I have mounted it on the heater case. I thought maybe we could put it in the glove box, but I didn't really want to do that, so we mounted it this way. It's mounted onto, it's not there, it's just on with double face tape and Velcro, so it should work. But anyways, I got to take it, and I'm going to wire it up, run the wires through the hole in the firewall there that we got. There was a grommet in there, but I took it out. We're going to use that to plumb the wiring through. So anyways, that's where I'm at, guys. I got some wiring to do on it, and we're going to see if we can't maybe get this thing running. Got a couple of minor issues to deal with, one of which is this is the wire. This is a brand new wiring loom. I replaced the entire wiring loom in the engine compartment here, the engine loom. The old loom was dry rotted and all that. But I don't particularly want to cut that end off to connect it to the MSD. So I'm going to try this, because I don't want to damage the loom. I don't want to cut that off if I want. So I'm going to try to find a way to, if I can make that work with some kind of a female spade type connector, make that fit, and because I don't want to cut the loom. So at any rate, but nevertheless, she looks pretty good, huh? Converted this thing to power brakes, converted it to power steering, put new headlight motors in it, mechanisms in it. They needed to be replaced, and then of course, to convert it to power steering, I obviously had to put a power steering pump on it, and I mounted Had to put a new steering gear in it, which required some things to do, shorten the shaft for the steering column a little bit and that sort of thing. But overall, at least I got a chance to look at it since I put this engine back in. It looks like it's tight, it's dry. Back there on the back side, since I had the distributor out, I could see that all very well. But and as you can see, I don't know if you can see that, it's actually got the cable drive for the tach on this MSD distributor. That's the whole thing, the distributor and the MSD unit itself, was about $700. And so it's not cheap, but hey, MSDs are the bomb. That's the way to fly.